pupils, you can see the top app there. It says My CJ Fallon. It's not an app. I just saved the web page to my home screen to make it easier to access. So I'm going to click on there. Now, you can see here that my maths book is ready to go, okay? But if you log in and the link doesn't bring you to the maths book, this is how you get to it, okay? If you look at the towards the top of the page, you'll see a number of boxes that are black at the top. It says level, class, subject. So I'm going to go filling those in one by one, okay? So in level, I select primary. In class, I select fourth class. I have to move it up a little bit. In subject, I select maths. Okay, in series, we're going to use Busy at Maths. And then the title is Busy at Maths for fourth class. And then we're going to use the online book. Now, I will also let you look at some interactive activities. Okay, they're little videos that might teach you something, or if you find something difficult to understand, you can see what interactive activities there are. But for now, we're going to look at the online book. Okay. Now you can see then underneath says resources, and underneath the bottom line of text, that's the actual book. And if you click on the eye, we'll be able to see the book. Open book. And then I'm going to jump to page, I think it was page 153. Go. Okay, and I'm on the chapter Weight. Now, I've decided to use this book because the Intermaths book requires a lot of explanation. Because it's used in so many different languages, they decided not to put too much writing into it, which means the teacher has to explain a lot of it. And as you're not with me, and it's very difficult to do it online, I decided to use this book and the Intermaths book. So we're going to start the topic of weight using this book, okay? In the diagram, you can see 6 different types of scales. A spring scale for objects that it's difficult to place on an actual scale, okay? So that can be used for measuring luggage. I don't have one in my house to show you. Bathroom scales then are usually used to weigh people. Okay, you may have one in your house, you may have a digital one, or you may have an older one where the needle points to the weight. So ask your mum and dad, if you're not sure, do you have a bathroom scales in your house? And if so, have a look at how it works. Kitchen scales, a lot of you will have, and I know that a lot of you are doing baking, so you might be getting lots of practice in using them. Again, that one in the picture has a needle that points at the weight, whereas the one I have in my kitchen is a digital one. So have a look and see what your one is like. There underneath we have a digital scales, that's more like what my one is. A retail scale, so scales that you use in shopping. Now, when I go to most shops now, I do not need to weigh my fruit and vegetables. Let me think. In Imas, which is the nearest supermarket to me, you do have to weigh them there. But now in most big supermarkets, they weigh them at the till. So the weighing scales is actually at the till. And then the last one is livestock scales. So livestock is live animals, so they have to be a lot bigger so that the animal can stand on the scale. So there are some questions there. Make sure you read the question properly and do your best in answering them. And then down the bottom, you have to match the item to the scales that you would use. Now, if you have a printer, you can print off this page and write on the page. If you do not have a printer, no problem. You can write the answers in your copy, okay? If you are somebody who is very good at using iPads, or maybe you're somebody that has an Apple Pen or a stylus that you can write on a tablet with, maybe you could fill in the answers, or no, that's up to you, okay? But I think the easiest thing is to write them in your copy if you don't have a printer. Now I'm going to move on to the next page. On the next page then, we can see 2 scales up the top, okay? And there's lots of marking on the scales. The one on the left is in fractions. Okay, well, it goes up in grams, up to 1 kilogram, but it also shows the fractions of a kilogram. Remember, we know from the maths facts that we did before Easter, 100 grams is 1/10 of a kilogram. 250 grams is 1/4 of a kilogram. A half a kilogram is 500 grams, etc. Okay? And then we have the same but in decimals on the right hand side. So using this information or recalling your maths facts that we learned before the break and that a lot of you knew anyway, you can do the exercises in number 1. Take your time, you're converting between fractions and decimals and grams, okay? Then number 2, it says each recipe has a total of 1 kilogram of ingredients. So if I look at the first one, 100 grams of butter, 0.5 kilograms of flour. Now you know from your math facts that 0.5 kilograms is 500 grams. That means we have 100 grams of butter, 500 grams of flour, that's 600 grams altogether, and we want to make 1 kilogram, which is 1,000 grams. What do we need to add? Well, of course, we'd need to add 400 grams. Okay, so take your time to fill in all of that. And then at the bottom it says challenge, write the names of objects that weigh between. So you could estimate, or better still, if you have a kitchen scales, why don't you get it out and test your guesses, and if they're right, write them in. Again, if you can't print out the page, do the work in your copy. You can send it to me then tomorrow once it's corrected. I will send all the answers tomorrow. Okay, boys and girls, that's your math for today. Bye.